ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पुंगं लंघायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमां वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणम्। हरे कृष्ण। As we discussed about the 10 offenses, I was just thinking about this yesterday. How important and vital is our understanding of the absolute truth. Because now we conclude the offenses. We want to deepen our faith, deepen our mood of receiving the process of Krishna consciousness. Just like every day we honor Prasad, Krishna Prasad, to keep the body and the soul together. We do our services, we go to office, we work there. We try to establish ourselves because that is the source for our existence. On the same line, dear devotees, actually even more important is to establish how much convinced we are that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but do we have that the deeper conviction where a sadhaka is always using ways and means, always using opportunities to increase that faith towards the Lord. Three things are so important, dear devotees. The first thing is Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And second one is Lord Chaitanya is none other than Krishna. And then third one is when one follows the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, one will go back to Godhead. So when these three things are assessed or put together, then a question will come. The more one is fixed up in these three things, the more he moves forward in the process of devotional service. Now, one might have bodily discomforts, but the consciousness is not connected to that because the body is different to what our consciousness is. Now we can say without, if the body is not good, then we cannot. But technically, one way it is true, but when we see further, it is not true. The soul is always independent. The soul is thinking that it is this body. Now, how when the soul would think that this as the body, because when the soul begins to act on this plane, then it thinks that it is this body. It is convinced, not about thinking, it is convinced. The soul is always convinced that we are this. But technically we are not this. This is just a place where the soul has been kept. This is the place. Tomorrow something else. Day after tomorrow something else. This is just the place where we have been kept. Yesterday I was going through this particular shloka in Gita where the Lord is clearly explaining to Arjuna that our actions, they speak a lot, not the words. Because actions are not coming just to please someone or just to, because words can be spoken just to please the other person. Now, actions can also be done just to please the other person, but the actions will only give one that real shelter is when he's really doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. That is what Krishna is confirming in this particular shloka, that the more we are fixed up, the more we know that Krishna's glories, his name, form, past tense, qualities, his entourage, his relationships with his devotees. Even though he has his fully renunciate. Krishna has everything. He's the richest person, but still he's renunciate. That means, what is that? That means he leads a life, but he's not in it. Actually, when that establishes in our heart, we will be the most fortunate person in this creation. For example, we are doing certain things, but we are not connected to it. We are performing, but we are not there. Just like Krishna has all the riches, that means he's the richest person. He's our father. That richest person who's the source of everything, and that person is a fully renunciate. Doesn't want to accept it. He's not there. Likewise, through our karmic reaction, Krishna has given us a job. Krishna has given us wealth. Krishna has given us a family. Krishna has given us so many things. Actually, our family, our everything, Manas Deha Gya Jo Kichu Mararpila Topada Nanda Kishora. In this bhajan also, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj is explaining that everything belongs to you. I'm just a mere instrument. That is the state of a devotee. Everything belongs to the Lord. We are just an instrument. We are there with it. We are there with it, but we should not be with it. For whose happiness we are doing, if we have that clarity, then we will not be there with them. Just like Ajamila, he was actually there seeing that vision of the prostitute. engrossed with another man. Here in this case, he's not there with the prostitute, but he's thinking about the prostitute. He's hankering, he's desiring for her association. He developed by the thought process itself, he developed a deep desire to have that person in his life. And he has that person in his life, and then his entire life is ruined. His whole life was ruined. He gave up his Brahmanical qualities. He gave up his sadhana. He gave up everything. He gave up sadachar. He gave up the association. He gave up everything. And then just to get some happiness to this body, he stayed with her. He even sent away his family members. What he did, how did all this begin? Through a thought. That means what we are thinking makes a great effort, makes a great, it creates a great impact on us, what we are thinking. So when we think about the truth every day, it's a different picture actually. We chant Hare Krishna every day. We think about them every day. Just like Mother Rukmini on the other side. Now this is the side of Ajamil. But here on the side of Mother Rukmini, she's thinking about the Lord once she hears from the Vaishnava. She did not see Krishna. She has never seen the Lord face to face. She only heard from a pure soul. And that is what she's thinking continuously. So when one thinks about the Lord, about his devotees, Bhaktivinoda Thakur hardly used to sleep. 2 hours, the max 3 hours. That's about it. He is the one who received Lord Chaitanya in his dream. And then he told them, go to Mayapur and then find my place. Now he goes. He does lots of research. And then finally he found the place which he wants his Gurudev to confirm him. Now he found, if as per the scripture, as per the calculation, as per his intelligence, he's a very intelligent person. He finds that. That means just see their absorption. It's completely. Think about Lord Chaitanya coming in the dream and then telling him, what kind of person is he? And then he does lot of research at Mayapur. And then finally he thinks that this is the place. But he wants his spiritual master to confirm it. So Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj would come. He was very elderly at that time, but very vibrant soul. Immediately when they brought him to the place of Lord Chaitanya, he would come. And he dances at that place, Hare Krishna, and then says, yes, this is where Lord Chaitanya came. There's one here, Krishna Krishna. Now we all go to Mayapur and then we see the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, Nimai, the neem tree. circumambulate towards that. But in the background, we see Lord personally came in the heart to Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj and then conveys him. Just think about this, dear devotees. Krishna descended 5,000 years ago. He did all the pastimes. When Krishna descended, the people like Duryodhana, Shishupala, the people like him, who did not accept or who did not agree, who did not accept and agree. Later on, when Lord Chaitanya comes, he propagates the mission of Sankirtana. Even at that time, people were accepting, people were not accepting. No, all the acharyas descended. Srila Prabhupada came. People would accept the process, not accept the process. Even though Lord personally descends in this world, dear devotees, he gives one's free will and choices to select. That is a prema. This is called as prema madhurya. What is this prema madhurya? The Lord always has intimate relationship with his devotees. And he gives various ways and means. For what? He gives various ways and means to connect to him. So, just like Lord is descending since 5,000 years ago, up until now, still he gives us that free will. This is love. Just like a father, he tells the son, you do this. But the son is adamant. He doesn't want to hear, doesn't want to listen. Oh, I don't want to listen to you, my dear father. I don't want to listen to you. He's adamant. So will the father give up that relationship? No. He will find other ways to express his love. That is what exactly Krishna is doing. He comes again and again. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirvavati bharata. Abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamyam. He comes again and again. He came as Lord Nrsimhadev, Vamandev, Varahadev, Kurmaavatar, Matsavatar. Unlimited avatars. Lord Ramachandra, Parshuramji, Vyasdev. Unlimited ways. So Lord is coming again and again to prove that I am there, my dear child. Please turn. Please come to me. Please surrender. He's telling in a loving way. Please take up this process more sincerely to the heart. Just like Bari Maharaj, he had that free will at his time. At that third step, he would have said, "Oh, you did cheating. You grown up so big. That was not in our discussion. You asked only three steps. The three steps would have been given, but I didn't know that you'll go big. You'll grow big, this big. There's nothing like that in Bhagavatam. But he had that free will to do it. Didn't he had words to speak? He had. Didn't he had intelligence to think in this way? He had. But he was not taking that route. Why? Out of his love toward the Lord. Just like Lord would love his devotees, now devotee also has that Free will to love back, to love the Lord back. So the more we know the glories of the Lord, the more we will do it. For that glories, acharyas have to give us. We cannot get those glories. Devotion is only mercy. Knowledge anyone can gather, dear devotees. If I do Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Shastri, I can understand the knowledge. I can understand how one shloka is connected to the other. I can know that. But that will not free us from desiring from sinful activities or doing sinful actions. That is the beginning to to bring us, to give us some taste to the process. That is the beginning. But it is only through love. It is only through that relationship one can actually come. Don't we think that Hiranyakashipu knows everything? Yeah, he knows everything, but he doesn't want to do it. Don't we think that Duryodhana or his father, Dhritarashtra, he doesn't know anything? They know everything. Don't we think that Shishupala doesn't know everything? He knows. Shishupala doesn't know Krishna is Supreme Lord. He knows, but he doesn't want to accept it. Because that's his choice, that's his free will. Likewise, we have our choices and free wills. So the more we know about the glories of the Lord, about his opulences, the more there is a chance. That's what Prabhupada writes over there. The more when one cultivates the knowledge in Krishna consciousness, Buddhi Yoga, the process of devotional service through knowledge, the more when one cultivates that, the more he aspires to do the process of Krishna consciousness, the more he can accept the truth. That's how it works. That is the way actually. And then after that, he tells about his glories. Aham sarvasva prabhavo matta sarvam pravartiti matto bhajanti ama buddha vasamita. I am the source of everything, Arjuna. Understand that I am the source. I'm not an ordinary person. Entire manifestation is working through my direction. That means if the sun is coming today, it's the mercy of the Lord. Because Suryadev is being given that charge. It's been given that service. If the moon is coming today, it's the mercy of the Lord because Chandradev has been given that opportunity. The mind becomes agitated when we are against these personalities. Chandradev. Because especially on the day of eclipses, it has been told that we stay indoor and then chant Hare Krishna and then read Srila Prabhupada books. Because Chandradev is in a difficult situation through that eclipse. And when we engage in any of the other activities other than this, we're actually insulting him. Through that insult, our mind will be agitated. So when the mind is not in a correct state, you need to understand this, we're doing something else. And Krishna says, Mam anusmara yudhyacha. You think about me and then do, and then fight. Likewise, that is for Arjuna. What is for us? When we do our chores, when we do our actions, when we do our activities, we should remember the Lord. That's the platform for us. Very important. So the more we know the opulences of the Lord, the more we will be absorbed the more we will know that this is the only way to be absorbed in the process. We have seen two levels of absorption. One absorption is the absorption of the Ajamil, and the other absorption is the absorption of Mother Rukmini Devi. Now it is our choice which one to select, which one to choose. But wherever we are absorbed, that is what we get. For sure. Bhaktivinoda Maharaj Thakur, through his absorption, has written so many books actually. Did so much service. Whenever he had time, he was writing. He used to spend time early in the morning to write. He gave everything in his life. The service of the Lord, the service of the Acharyas, everything. We hardly live for 70 years. So in a normal life, when we see some are in 40s, some are in 50s, some are in 60s, some are in 30s, we are heading. Purpose says just give this one life to Krishna. And that giving comes when we know his opulences more and more. So knowing the opulences of the Lord, knowing his glories, that Krishna, the conviction has to be abstract. Actually, Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj tells us. If this entire world might be against the process of Krishna consciousness, if the entire world might not accept Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but I will accept. I will accept. And his acceptance is not like just like somebody told them Krishna is Supreme Lord and he is accepting. No. His acceptance is through Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. There's no blind faith, dear devotees. In the science of Krishna consciousness, there's no blind faith. Everything is practical, logical, instrumental. Because when one's faith on the process is deep, then his actions are different. Now, how do we know that if one's faith and his actions are Krishna is how do we know that his faith is deep? Through his actions. If the actions are towards the Lord, then we know. We see the examples of these personalities. Hardly used to sleep. Entire time is used in the service of the Lord. Beautiful. That's what it is being said, right? Brahmaji, when he was given that opportunity to do the creation, then Krishna was pleased through his tapasya, and then through that tapasya, he gave the benediction. Okay, now let there be a creation. Now you do it. Now you become an instrument. Because what he did tapasya for that. There's an action behind it. So when we have those actions in our life, then it makes sense. So our efforts should be this. In what way, shape and form I can please the Lord, I can please our spiritual, I can please Srila Prabhupada. What is the way? What ways and means we can do? How can we aspire for that consciousness? This is what we need to meditate. Now my request, as we discuss these 10 offenses, Please read through them every day before we chant Hare Krishna. Please read through those 10 offenses and then try to reflect what we discussed. Very important. And tomorrow we will take some time, because tomorrow is Saturday or Sunday. We'll do this exercise of what we have learned through these 10 offenses. And how can we, and what are the ways and means so that we can come out of these things. Please come prepared to share your reflections. Please think about that. What can be done to be fully free from these 10 offenses? This should be the offerings to Srila Prabhupada and the Lord. Please think about this. What changes can we do in our life so that we are free from these things? So we can connect. Why don't we? Definitely we can connect. Please think about that. Because if these things are not taken care, then we cannot go deep into the names. Harinama. Harinama access will not be given. Please think about them. Take some time for you personally, for yourself. Think about them. What can be done? Everyone has so many things, dear devotees. Who doesn't have things? So many things. But when we do this, the process of chanting and hearing on a daily basis, then definitely Prabhupada will be very pleased. Krishna will be pleased. So the chanting and hearing has to happen. Then think about these offenses. Where we are stuck, and go from there. Hare Krishna. I'd like to stop here. Anyone would like to add anything? Any questions? Any comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavat Pranam, Hare Krishna Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, as you said that love and relationship to the Lord, towards the Lord, will actually help us to do the service, and it will be spontaneous. It's not like only I'm doing my duties, I have to do it. It will be more spontaneous. And also, Prabhuji, I'd like to add, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, like he actually his contributions is very significant when he came to this material world. That time there was very dark time was going on. The Baul Sahajiyas, they were everywhere. So Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur actually re-established the principles of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His contribution is tremendously helped this Gauriya Sampradaya Prabhuji.
Yes.
So he is our Acharya, is very, very significant Acharya in this Sampradaya Prabhu. Just like to add that. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes. It was a very dark time. Yes. He hardly was able to find a set of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So I was trying to find so many places, couldn't get it. Yes, people. That's what happens when we do not have right association. We think in our own way the process, and then we tend to stray away from that, which is a very great problem. That's why if the association is not there, then our mind is our association. Whatever mind says, they do it. So if a person is not there, those things will happen. That's a very clear indication. Just imagine, it's only 300 years. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has left, and then by the time Bhaktivinoda Thakur Maharaj came, it was all shattered. So then again, he re-established. That's why Acharyas are glorified. Nana Shastra Vicharanaikani Puna Shraddharma Samstapaka. They establish. Because they've read through all the scriptures. But even after establishment, people strayed away. It was a dark time. Then again, Bhaktivinoda Thakur re-establishes it. And his son, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Srila Prabhupada, he establishes so many temples to give us his understanding. And then our Srila Prabhupada, he worked all his life. That's what I see. Any disturbances in this life, the moment we see our acharyas, the disturbance is no longer a disturbance actually. This is how the connection is established, the relationship is established. We don't see any problem because you see these personalities have taken so much. Our problem is very teeny in front of them because we ourselves are teeny, insignificant. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone else? Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji, really quick, my realization, Mataji, sorry. Prabhuji, from your message, the actions do matter. The first example that you gave from Ajamila, it's the desire from which the action took place for his negative action. So it's always important that it's his thought from which the desire came in. So it's always important on how we watch our thoughts and where the thoughts lead to. Thoughts will be coming in. It's not they are not in our control. But then, if we know where they are leading to, if we observe where they are leading to, then we can control so that they don't come into the action. This might
Actually,
take. Yeah,
actually, for that we should surrender ourselves to the spiritual master, to our acharyas. That is the way, because that state comes only through goodness, and that is actually given to us, which I personally see, because Krishna consciousness is only given to us. That's why even though if we hear, if we do not cultivate that deep desire, then it will not help actually. Because Krishna will not give something which we are not aspiring or desiring to. That's what Prabhupada says actually. If our desires are not deep enough, then Krishna won't sanction that. Even if our desires are deep enough, if our motive is not right, he won't sanction. So he will always see what is the motive, what is the desire, why are we doing it. For example, I can stop not eating non-prasad for some time, but if I do not have a relationship, I will again go and eat that non-prasad. Or for example, if I do not have the deep relationship with them, I cannot come out of 10 offenses. You might be committing some offense, internally or externally. That's why that establishment has to happen. When that establishment happens, it becomes continuous. That continuity should be there. Continuity is only goodness. Continuity is only done in goodness. Very, very important. Because when goodness is established, then we see things shaping up, and then that goodness is given to us actually. You see, Prahlad Maharaj was being gifted so that he would see the Lord everywhere. Now, how is that gifted? Through his reciprocation. He pleased Narada Muni so much. He pleased Narada Muni when he was in the mother's womb only. Through his hearing, he was very attentive in Kayadu's womb when he was hearing from Narada Muni. Otherwise, just like Dipali Mata a few days back, she spoke on this way. What is that? For our material problems, we will choose material solutions only. We will not take spiritual solutions. We don't want to, because our desires are not there yet. We'll discuss about this tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Then Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the wonderful lecture, Prabhuji, and thank you for the wonderful bhajan from Sivalas Prabhuji. I will nurse the Nivani.